Welcome, Husker Nation, to Wild Card Wednesday, where each and every Wednesday anything can be on the docket, not just Husker football. But this week, I want to break down the Big Ten Conference and give my prediction for the Big Ten Championship game. Now, I understand there's 14 teams in the Big Ten Conference, kind of like there's 10 teams in the Big 12. But let's be honest, this is really a 6-team race. In the Big Ten West, you've got Iowa, Wisconsin, Nebraska. In the East, you've got Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. And I want to start in the East. Now, Michigan, I understand they're a top 5 team right now, but I really feel they're a year away from being really good. They also have to go to Michigan State and to Ohio State. Now, Michigan State went on the road and beat a very good Notre Dame team, but I just can't imagine them beating Ohio State 2 years in a row. Now, as far as Ohio State, let me give you a little fact about them. Out of 128 teams in Division I FBS, they had the least amount of returning starters of any team. 3 on offense, 3 on defense, only 6 total. But it doesn't seem to matter. They just spanked Oklahoma on Saturday night like a 4-year-old in Kmart. So I've got Ohio State coming out of the Big Ten East. Now in the West, Wisconsin had a great first game victory over, at the time, a top 5 LSU football team. I do think that victory is a little bit overrated because LSU doesn't even really have a starting quarterback. But even though they will end up rated in the top 10 or 15 at the end of the year, because every team from the SEC ends up rated highly at the end of the year. But Wisconsin also has to play Michigan, Michigan State, and Ohio State from the eastern side of the conference, which really isn't fair. I don't care, it's just not fair, and it's going to eliminate them from the Big Ten championship game. Now, Iowa's got a really good football team, but I do feel like they were exposed a little bit last year. They really didn't face a top team until they played Michigan State in the Big Ten championship game, who ended up losing 38-0 to Alabama in the college football playoff, so they weren't as good as we thought, and then Iowa was embarrassed in the Rose Bowl by Stanford. And this past weekend, I still feel like Iowa's a good team, but they got exposed again by a really good FCS team in North Dakota State, really good, but they're still FCS nonetheless. Now, before the season started, I predicted Iowa and Nebraska would play for the Big Ten West Championship the day after Thanksgiving, and I still am going to hold to that prediction, and I have Nebraska winning that football game and going on to the Big Ten Championship game. So out of the Big Ten West, Nebraska, and out of the Big Ten East, Ohio State. Remember when the divisions were known as the Leaders and Legends division? How stupid was that? Now, I'm not going to make my prediction for that Big Ten Championship game just yet. We can see Ohio State's the real deal, but we got more to learn about Nebraska. They should be favored their next 4 games, and then they'll play Ohio State, and we'll learn a lot about Nebraska on that night. Tune in tomorrow to Prediction Thursday when I break down the Nebraska Northwestern game and give my prediction. So until tomorrow, Husker Nation, go Big Red, and always remember to throw the bone.